yellow squash, you can't just lay on the grill and grill. Asper broccoli. Now I just come in here a couple of days ago and clipped all the little heads out of them. I've never grown this before. Some people call it broccolini, but from my reading, once you clip the heads out of them, then they start putting off shoots that makes little broccolinis, like that right there. See how it's putting off? There's 1, 2, 3 shoots now after I cut the head off. But that's what the head looked like. I got 2 or 3 that I didn't get the heads the other day because I'm gonna cut them for my salad tonight. There's one right there I left, and I left this one to get a little bigger. But I will be growing them again because I like it. Like I said, I want to see how much broccolinis they put off after I do the heads. My onions, this was the ones planted in the fall, the Vidalia. Y'all may have seen a video a few days ago where I started pulling them up. And today I'm finna pull these others up that fell over because we finna get 2 days of rain. Now guys, I know I had somebody commenting on the last video that them are still growing because they fell over, but they still green. They ain't that brown. I understand that. But I'm pulling them because we're getting so much rain. To me, once they fall over, you ain't gonna get enough growth and size-wise of the onion to run the risk of losing the onions. Plus, I got way more onions than I can eat in a year. So that's why I pull mine when they start falling over like that. These here, I go on and pull them while we looking at them, because I'm gonna pull them and go hang them up to dry. Even this little one right here that's fell over. Just cause it's small, don't mean it ain't a good eating onion. But when I get through the video, I'm gonna come pull back every one that's fell over. I'm gonna pull up. This here, I can't remember if it's another Sweet 100 tomato or a Tropical Sunset. I think that's my Tropical Sunset. I ain't got my list with me. Well, I don't have a list wrote down. It's on a computer spreadsheet, but I think that's one of my Tropical Sunsets. When I do a tomato in a barrel like that, I just let it grow and just hang over. And guys, look at this. Peaches and cream corn. Now y'all know I'm all about trying to do stuff that people say you can't do or should do it another way. I see people all the time say you shouldn't grow corn in a raised bed because it needs to be planted 8 inches apart and it needs a space between it, 24 to 30 inches, 32 inches on rows. Then you need to plant a big enough patch that it will pollinate each other. Well, around here in my neck of the woods, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of corn planted every year. And then farmers are plant double rows of corn. That means on each row, there's 2 plantings and they're about 6 to 8 inches apart. And then their rows are 30 inches apart. But that corn is so thick being on them double rows, I'm like, I ain't gonna say, but I'm finna do it this year and see if I can get 1 to 2 ears out of every stalk in here. And I did have that counted one time. It's over 50 stalks planted in that 5-foot round bed. You can see I took me some dog wire, I wrapped around it. That way when the wind blows, when it gets taller, hopefully it don't blow it all over. It's gonna take a pretty strong wind, because that's just zip tied around to that cow panel around the bed. But that's something we're testing out this year to try to prove some of them that say you can't do it or shouldn't do it or you won't get enough corn because it's too close together. If it don't give me enough corn, then I just say, well, maybe they was right. But we're gonna see. Another bed of strawberries. Now these strawberries have been here since the fall. Some of them in that picture a while ago come off of that. But I pretty much keep the strawberries to eat up as they get ripe, me and coating and sugar. Guys, in this barrel right here, some goldy ground cherries. Now, I've planted these before, but I ain't never done them in a barrel like this, but I don't know why it won't work. Just let them grow and fall over. Ground cherries is in this little husk. I'm gonna go and pull this one off. It's in a little husk. This one's real little, but you can see the cherry. It's kind of like a little cherry tomato, but it's kind of fruity flavored. This goldy is. But it gets bigger than that. It gets about bigger rounds a dime, and these husks will turn yellow and they'll fall off on the ground. And that's when you're supposed to get them. When they fall off on the ground, you pick them up and pull that little husk out around it, and then you get you a ground cherry. I've tried 4 or 5 different varieties, and this is the one that I like the best. And it ain't something to you want to preserve or anything like that. Not me. It's what I call garden snacks. Beets. They thickly planted in there, but maybe they'll make some beets. They thick enough. I'm gonna pull one up and look at them. They just now starting to bub. So, if it don't get too hot on them too quick, they'll make some beets. Couple more spillover bags of onions. Here's some of these breakfast radishes. I need to be pulling several of them. Some more harvest for today. Extra holy basils and presto basil. Just stuck over here in the pot. More lemon balm, garlic chives. That's been there for years. 2 more beds. Actually, that's 1, 2, 3 beds of Yukon Golds. Turnip greens. Planted extremely thick because we just love the little leaves. And guys, beat several messes off of them this spring. When that leaf gets about that long or they get about that tall, you come in there with scissors, get you some little bitty tender greens. Because we only talking enough. Sometimes it's just me, just enough for me to have a little bowl full of greens at night. You can see where I harvested them this morning. Butchering them, taking the lady some to mix with her greens because she likes mixed greens too. Peppermint. Spearmint. And these back tomatoes was leftover plants. Not sure what order I'm going to call these out in, but one of them's an Indian strike. One of them's a Kellogg's breakfast. One of them I think's a Cherokee. Oh, and this little bed right here is some more of these herbs I was trying this year that didn't start good for me because I'm not good at starting them little herbs. See, that's St. John's wort. Most of that's weeds, but I threw some seeds out here. You're gonna see if they come up, but I don't know what they're supposed to look like, so maybe some St. John's wort will come up. That's chamomile. Now that come up very easy. Started seeds. You can see the taller ones is the ones I started in the greenhouse. Then I throwed a bunch of seeds out here. I need to be thinning that out. That's way too thick. The other tomato, I don't forget which ones I named y'all. Indian Strike, Cherokee, Kellogg Breakfast, maybe. I know this one right here is a Brandywine. That's one thing about Brandywines. Brandywine tomatoes leaves don't look nothing like other tomato leaves. So I got 2 of them, one of them over here. See, this is one I pinched the top out of too, guys, when it was a seedling. See how it forks? Now I'm running one up each string. Whether it was in a cage or not. But over here they in a cage and string up on my TPs there. Premier Blueberries, and I think Jewel. These was loaded down until that late frost. And now I don't know how many blueberries I got. There's some small ones there. They starting to make some more. But if we wouldn't have got that late frost when it came, these 2 bushes was loaded. All right, guys, now we on our outside garden. This first row here is gonna be my tomatoes. And for some of the new viewers here, that's my tomato stringing trellis. I done it first year last year, and I loved how it worked. But of course, I got marigolds planted around every tomato. But guys, I got marigolds and zinnias planted all over this yard around stuff, just because I started them myself this winter. But these first 2 tomatoes is some Roma tomato. I don't know what variety they are. In 2020, I saved some seeds, and every year I plant about 4 of them. And even if they are a hybrid tomato, they still been making good tomatoes for canning. I know some people say you can't save seeds from a hybrid, you won't get the same seed, the same fruit out of it. And I agree that, and I understand that, but I saved these seeds in 2020, and every year they making good tomatoes for canning or making sauces out of. The next tomato here is the Indian Strike. As you can see, that's one of the ones I pinched the top out of when it was a seedling. And that makes them fork off like that. So now I got 2 strings coming down, and I can clip them up each string as they go up. And that's why I say this works great on indeterminate tomatoes for sure. And my trellis there is about 7.5 foot tall. The next 3 tomatoes right here is the Roadster, which is bred by Staccato. Now that there's kind of forking off on its own, or either that's a long shoot makes it look like a fork, but I didn't pinch the tops off of these. You can see they all kind of look the same. I didn't pinch the tops off of these, but that's how they come out and that's how they look. But right now they're good looking tomatoes. Well, I just need more sunshine. The next 4 is Hoyacinators. Now these 4 I got planted out here, they didn't have the tops pinched out of them or nothing. So what you see here is how they're growing. I got that clip right there around that sucker. Matter of fact, I think I'll just take that sucker right there out. He's got another big sucker right there coming on. But that's the 4 Hoyacinators. If any of you out there is growing Hoyacinators and want to play along with me in my challenge, I think Miss Lippy may be out of the game already unless she gets another Hoyacinator plant. She didn't have good luck starting it, so anyhow, it is what it is. It was all just for fun and games anyway. Alright guys, breaking news. After I made this video here, had it uploaded, ready to put on YouTube, I told y'all Miss Lippy was out of the game. She had trouble getting her Hoyacinator started. Well, I come to find out she's got 1 Hoyacinator left. So I sent her over some vitamins and some steroid pills to put around that Hoyacinator tomato. So she's still in the game, guys. So y'all go over and give Miss Lippy some support. And like I said, them vitamins and that steroid pill, I think she's gonna win just by me sending her that, because that's one of my secrets I ain't been telling y'all. But anyway, guys, I just thought I'd let y'all have an update here that I made a mistake when I said I thought she was out of the game. Miss Lippy's still in the game. That's the 4 Hoyacinators. The next 4 down here is the red snappers. They all turning out looking good tomatoes. Just hope they make the tomatoes taste as good as what they say. Now guys, these are all staccatos. No, there's 3. I'm sorry, it's 3 red snappers here. The last one down there is the Cherokee. 3 red snappers. This is my first year to raise these. They're determinate tomato, but they're supposed to be flavored tomato like the heirloom tomatoes. That's been one of the things why I don't like raising determinate tomatoes. It's because most of them to me don't taste good as the indeterminate heirloom tomatoes. But they're supposed to be here in the last several years breeding tomatoes back for their taste, not just for the looks. Because years the tomato growers bred tomatoes to make them look good and pretty to sell in grocery stores and wasn't concerned with the taste. That's why grocery store tomatoes, well, my opinion, ain't worth eating. There's 2 more Roma tomatoes down here on this end. Over here in this little bed, the bigger plants there is valerian root. Plus I threw some seeds down, so some of that may be some valerian, most of that's weeds. Got me some sunflowers planted down the back of the fence, so they'll grow up on the back of the fence there. So hopefully all this really turns pretty this summer when all my flowers and all get growing. This here is my brandy wine. This is one that I pinched the top off, and you can see how it forked good. I pinched the top off, guys, when it was a little bitty seedling. And it makes them fork like that. There's another Freedom Mark blackberry. And if you didn't see my last videos, my brother-in-law, which has passed away, used to raise his tomatoes in these buckets here, upside down. Still don't see the benefit in it, the purpose of it. But there was a couple of these buckets laying around his old home place, and I got them, and I said, well, I'm just gonna try it. And this one here, I think, is the Sweet 100. The reason I don't understand the benefit of it is if they hanging, you see as they grow, they try to turn up to find the sun. So why not just put them in the bucket, and when they grow over the sides, they hang down. Plus, when you water, all your water goes through your soil right on down on your tomatoes, which to me causes more diseases. So if you out there and you a fan of growing upside down tomatoes, maybe you can put in the comments, let me know the benefit of it or something that I'm missing. Or is it just the idea of it? But anyway, I'm doing it just for fun. Except over here it didn't work. I done put, this is one of these spoon tomatoes. World's smallest tomatoes, they say, like size of peas. Well, I done put like 2 of them in here in the bottom. And with all this cold and rain, they would just die out. So the last time I just stuck one, cause I still had another one. You know, I still got another one over there, so I may put it in a bucket upside down. I still have one in the greenhouse. But this one I just stuck in there. I'm like, cause I don't understand the difference in that's gonna grow up. It's gonna get long enough, it's gonna start hanging down. So I don't understand the purpose behind that. But as y'all can see, I'm the type person, I do stuff just to do it for the fun of it, whether I see the purpose or not. That row down through there, I just had some extra marigolds. I popped in every other hole. Right here's Clemson spineless okra. You can see I popped the seeds in there. They come up after they start looking better. Then I weed the extra seedling off. Just have one in each hole. Now what I didn't think was gonna make it is these jumbo hell and these sugar cube cantaloupes. And y'all can see I done give up on them, so I come back and put seeds under them, and there's two coming up there. But just them few days of sun, they was coming back to life and looking better. But guys, these I just almost want to just pull them up. I'm like, they ain't gonna make it. So if we can get through this rainy few days, maybe the sun will come out and it'll warm up. These two rows is starting to rain on me. On this row right here is split Brussels sprouts and cauliflower, which I never, ain't but once I think, made cauliflower big enough to eat. It's always too hot, gets too hot early, or in the fall we get a freeze too early. And guys, it's easier for me to grow greens, broccoli. Like I said, I never really got Brussels sprouts either way, fall or winter, or fall or spring. But here where I live, it's easier for me to get a crop in the spring because it stays cooler longer. Because in the fall, we can go right up into October, still be in the 90s. And trying to start something, you would have to start this in August and September. Well, we in 3-digit temperature. Well, I ain't never had no luck starting stuff when it's that hot and keep it growing long enough that it matures before we get our first frost. I just do better trying it in the spring. I never get any big heads of cauliflower, but I do. One year got some pretty decent little heads about that big around, and they was good eating. But you can see these, that might, it ain't started. It may be just now finna start a head. But that other row over there, that's a mixed up row. It's got some collard greens, which you can tell that's collard greens. And then it's got some broccoli mixed in with it. What it was, I was gonna do a half a row of broccoli and a half a row of collard greens out here. Well, the broccoli didn't come up. And I said, yeah, I just plant the rest of the row in collard greens. But then I had sporadically down through there some of the broccoli come up. But my potatoes, guys, this is the red Lesotho potatoes. These are the potatoes that I had left over from last year. They are horrible. We've had so much rain. I think it's a combination of two things. So much rain, cold weather. Look at them, they're eat up. Brown spot, early blight. And when I say eat up, eat up. This whole row right here is bad. Now that row over there, you can see right here on that end, them ain't hardly got anything. Then you got a spot there that looks like this row. And then the rest of that row down through there, I mean, it's got brown spots on it, but it don't look like it's eaten up with blight yet. So, I think it's a combination of two things. I think it's them potatoes I planted. The potatoes I had left over and they done getting in that shriveled up look, sprouting out and stuff. I think they had a disease plus all this rain and cold. I said I was gonna dig down and look at these potatoes and see what they look like, and I still may do it. And if they don't look like they making any potatoes, I'm thinking about cutting that right there down, getting that out of my garden. Because all it'll do is add disease further into your soil that'll be there for next year. To where now if I go on and cut them down and get it out of here, I can plant a cover crop on here that would try to help with the diseases for next year. Also, I'm worried about this early blight and stuff moving right on over there and getting on my tomatoes. I ain't that concerned about these potatoes. I get enough potatoes out of them 3 beds of Yukon potatoes. But anyway, it just, they was coming. Oh, plus the freeze got them one time. I covered them, had them covered there. We got that hard freeze. So a lot of them got frostbite back and I cut down. So they ain't had a good start at all this year. But they look horrible and I'm thinking about getting them out of here. Matter of fact, we may just get the shovel over here right now and dig and look. So guys, we've been to dig down here. Let's see if it looks like anything's under any of these. I don't think it's gonna be nothing just pulling that out. It's got a few little taters right there, but oh, there's a potato. Look at there, guys. Look at him. I ain't gonna pull these taters up. Nothing else, I'll let them go just about another week and dig this row. Them potatoes big enough to eat right there. Look at them potatoes. I'm talking about how bad my taters looking. That right there is a surprise, guys. That right there really surprised me. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I count them little ones there. So they eatable. Guys, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. As bad as them taters are eat up, I think what I'm gonna do is give them about another week and go on and harvest and take what I got and be happy and get rid of all this disease plants so I can go on and plant me maybe a mustard cover crop or something I can do there. What they call that nowadays. All my life it was just called a cover crop. Now they got this big long word about that long, calling it biofumigation or something or other. Well, if somebody would have asked me what's biofumigation, I'd have said, I don't know, unless somebody farted or something. They got all kind of technical names for everything nowadays, and it's no more than just doing a cover crop. Anyhow, I'm happy with that. What y'all think? But guys, what do y'all think about that? That just made me happier than a pig in a mud hole. Yesterday, y'all know what's been happening with these? Yesterday, I went and I got a place that I mow that the lady has a big pond. She's one of the ladies I take stuff to, but she's got this big pond, and I love bass, and I ain't had no bass in a while, so after I got done mowing, caught me a couple of yearling bass, filleted them out. Tonight for supper's gonna be fresh fried bass with some fresh fried potatoes. You call them potatoes, I call them taters. So tonight I'm gonna have taters. But guys, it's starting to rain. I know this video had to be split into part 2 because I can't cover everything in one video and make a reasonable length out of it. Also, if you didn't see my video on the V4 storage box here, I'm really loving this thing. I done put all my fertilizers and other garden supplies in here, or not all of them, I needed more room, but what I'm saying is I done got the box filled up. But I did raise mine up and put it on 2 of these old tubs, that way I ain't got to bend over. I open it up and got all my storage. But if you need a good garden storage, I have an affiliated link in the description below this video where you can go check this out. They come in 3 different sizes. I think this is the 120 gallon if I remember correctly. But I'm really enjoying it. As far as storage boxes, this here was an old aluminum box come off of a job site. This is where I store my hand tools and rakes, my little tools, where I can walk over here real quick and get them, and it's waterproof. All of these are waterproof. I've had this one for 3 years now. A limb, I was going to cut a limb up there, and I let it fall and it cracked the corner right here, so I did have to patch the corner there with some good silicone and a little piece of aluminum. But I got it patched. But these make good garden storage boxes. Also, the other day, I got something I want to show you guys. I mowed some yards up in Arkansas. And I've done been down this road, no telling how many times. But they got this sign hanging there. And this tells you how much I pay attention to signs. Well, one day I happened to see this sign, and I hit my brakes and I turned around. I said, that didn't just say what I thought it said, did it? Well, I took a picture of this sign. I'm gonna put it up here and let you guys look at it. Now what y'all think about that? Yeah, that's up there on a state highway in Arkansas. I thought that was funny. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed these little videos. If you ain't never subscribed, please reach down there and hit that subscribe button, wherever it's gonna pop up here. Don't cost you a thing. Helps me grow my YouTube videos, and you never know. You may see a title pop up one day if you hit that notification bell. You may see something pop up there you want to look at. But I am the type. I don't believe a person ought to just watch videos just to watch them. If there's something you ain't interested in that you see and I'm videoing, by all means, I don't blame you. Don't even click on it. Now, it'd help me out if you clicked on it and went on and took a bath and just let it play. That would help me out. But I understand, don't watch them. But you don't never know. You may see something one day you want to say, hey, I'm interested in that, or I want to see what he's talking about there. But as always, I hope y'all have a great day and a blessed week. God bless. See y'all next time.